Hi, welcome in, and welcome to this latest installation of the Obsidian Mirror podcast and also the Kitchen Magic playlist here on the channel. My name is Cynthia, and if you're new here, I've been reading cards since I was 15. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in private practice, and I'm also what I consider myself to be a hedge witch. I've studied under witching teaches in my ancestral line, which is Eastern and Western European. And we're here today to talk about thistle. Thistle is a plant with a lot of magical history to it. I think probably in the West, amongst people that are in the know around plants and plant medicine, it's mostly known as a very good medicine for the liver. And here, though, it's got all kinds of medicinal uses beyond that, but here we're going to be speaking mainly about its esoteric uses for divination and spiritual practices. It's considered a plant that would be poison in quotations, in that it has benefit for doing helpful magic as well as baneful magic, or light and dark magic, right? It's got practical uses for protection. It's also associated with the devil. It's got lore surrounding its history from all over the world. And before we do a divination practice that's known to have been practiced in Europe, we're going to be talking about I wanted to introduce some ideas about how thistle's been used all over the world for this type of work, particularly for esoteric work. So the practice that we're going to be doing today is some scrying and divination work. In this cauldron is boiling water, and I placed 3 just freshly cut thistle stalks into the boiling water and covered it. This is the source of this material is a book by Scott Cunningham called Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. And in the thistle portion of this book, I'm just going to read them off because they're fairly quick to read here. A bowl of thistles placed in a room strengthens the spirits and renews the vitality of all within it. Carry a thistle or part of a thistle for energy and strength. Grown in the garden, thistles ward off thieves. Grown in a pot and on the doorstep, they protect against evil. A thistle blossom carried in the pocket guards its bearer. Thrown onto a fire, thistles deflect lightning away from the house. If you have had a spell cast against you, wear a shirt made of fiber spun and woven from the thistle to break it and any other spells. Stuff hex-breaking poppets with thistles. Thistles are strewn in homes and other buildings to exorcise evil. Thistles are also used in healing spells, and when men carry it, they become better lovers. Thistle also drives out melancholy when worn or carried. Wizards in England used to select the tallest thistle in the patch to use as a magical wand or walking stick. To call in spirits, place some thistle in boiling water, remove from the heat, and lie or sit beside it. As the steam rises, call the spirits and listen carefully. They may answer your questions. And that's the practice we're actually going to be doing today. So this is use in Europe, according to Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, which is a source that I love for that lineage of magic and divination practice. And then I have a little bit of material to add to that from Corinne Boyer. Corinne Boyer is my teacher. She is an initiate to trolldom and has been practicing plant magic and hedge witchery for, I'd say probably it's safe to say the last 30 years. She's amazing. She's a published author. This is from a handout that she used to do, a newsletter. I don't think she publishes this anymore. It was self-published, called the Gathering Basket. It might have been made every month, but I have a lot of these because I studied under her. And so I'm just going to highlight a couple of the excerpts of uses of thistle in Eastern and Western Europe. In one German story, a merchant traveling through lonely lands forgot to wear his thistle for protection. He got robbed by a jealous peasant who murdered him because of envy. As the merchant was dying, he invoked a curse of the thistle and threatened the murderer with the thistle's betrayal. From then on, the man was haunted by his evil deeds and could not even spend the money and goods he had stolen. He avoided thistles in the nearby fields and finally confessed to his crime. He was hanged, and in Mecklenburg, at the murder scene, grew a thistle that was shaped like a man. In the ending of another version, there grows a thistle every day at noon at the place where the murder occurred. It grows heads and hands like a human. And one time, a shepherd passed over the exact spot and he was paralyzed, his staff turning instantly to tinder. So thistle is no joke, right? According to the old ways. Thistle stalks were used magically for protection, cut on the eve of St. George, April 22nd. This was thought to come originally from a Romani custom, often performed by old women. They were harvested before sunset and hung on the doors of cowsheds to protect livestock. These thistle twigs were also placed within protective garlands and hung around the necks of cattle. And another tale here, an exotic medieval love potion that came to Europe from Persia included Italian thistle, cloves, laurel seeds, and sparrowwort, which was likely Thymalea hirsute, mixed in pigeon broth and drunk. A magical cure from East Prussia involved thistles for an animal with an open wound. Holy thistle was used magically in medieval times. If carried in a red bag and replaced every 7 days, it was known to bring good luck. It was also used to call spirits, like what we're going to be doing here. Even with their association with the devil, thistles were protective and thought to be good to plant near the home. This is because they had long-time associations with Thor and Mother Mary, both beneficial and powerful allies. The flowers of thistle were believed in Nordic cultures to come from lightning, another association with Thor. They could protect from lightning if hung in a building. In witchcraft from the Balkans, the silver thistle is still carried as an amulet against slander and is also hung in the home to protect it from evil. So those are some examples from Eastern and Western Europe. And I also want to highlight that thistle is used in Ifa, or in the Yoruba diaspora traditions of West Africa and the islands, right, in the Americas. It's called cardo or abrojo, and it has affiliation with two different orishas particularly. Oshosi, which is the orisha of hunt, forest animals, warriors, and justice. Thistle is also associated with Oggun, which is a warrior orisha of metalwork, rum making, and the god of iron. So both thistle varieties used in the Yoruba traditions are affiliated with both of those orisha. There's also known to be good offerings for more than those orisha, but they're the two particular ones that are associated specifically with thistle. Abrojo terrestre thistle is a ritual herb also of the Abakua, which is a secret society of initiation in Cuba. It's a secret society where only men are allowed. They do have and hold some public events, though, in Cuba. One is a parade that they hold on Three Kings Day, which I think is so fascinating because I'm obsessed with having a Three Kings Day party as soon as I have a big enough space to hold one. And so I love that they have that association. In the Abakua tradition, this plant is known as mendiba. It's used for spiritual cleansing and protection of a place, and also to manifest things. What else? What else about thistle? It's one of the principal herbs of gift giving to the Orisha, especially, like I said, of Oggun and of Oshosi. So I love that it's associated with warriors and with protection and cleansing as well in the Yoruba tradition. And I didn't even know about that secret society. I was fascinated to learn about that. And that source is from a Plants of the Orisha PDF that is published on academia.edu that I downloaded a while back because I was interested in plants use in our part of the world. Okay, I think that's it for now. That's all the history I wanted to give. And so now, without further ado, this is how you go ahead and carry out this use of thistle for divination with the spirits to find out answers to our questions. What we're going to be asking here is mainly a question about what's most important for this collective to know. And we're thanking all spirits that show up here to answer these questions for us. And our intention is that all of this is for our greatest and highest good. Any messages that come in that are confounding or trickery are not allowed here. I've made my proper offerings to nature and thanks to the thistle in terms of having harvested these today. And now what we're going to do is just open this cauldron up, and then what you want to do is lie down next to it and enter a meditative state and open up your third eye and your crown to receive messages from the spirits that are called in by the thistle. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I just wanted to thank you for being here. This cauldron is still really hot. I wondered if I was going to be able to touch it with my hands, and I'm not. It's still too hot for that. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Hopefully the steam isn't so strong that it clouds up the camera lens here. I didn't really think about that, but that's okay because now we're going into a meditation. So we'll just see what comes out. Oh, now my cat's suddenly very intrigued and wants to be a part of this. Okay. I'll see you on the other side. Oh, and one thing I wanted to point out too is that after we're done here, I'll be able to use this water in a bath later to use as a protective cleansing bath, right? Much like you would take a salt bath. So that's another use of this decoction of this water. You could also sprinkle this water around the exterior and interior of your home for extra protection. So thank you again for being here. Let's just tap in and see what Spirit has to say to us. I see lightning right away. This is definitely a plant that has association with lightning. And there's thunder and lightning storms predicted where I live. Ooh, and now I'm hearing a ringing in my right ear. So I feel like there's definitely, our request is being answered. The spiritual meaning of thunder and lightning is going to be really important to this collective right now. And so, and where I live, like I just said, there's a predicted storm later this afternoon. Lightning is very catalytic. Often you'll experience spiritual awakening like a lightning bolt coming down through your crown chakra. Yeah, the elements, the power of the elements are really here cleansing the space. I feel wind, fire, water, all of it, earth. They're all really heavily present here. Being connected to the earth is critical, very important to celebrate the natural world and the elements here right now at such intense times of, we're all at a crossroads, right, on this planet. That's what I'm feeling is coming through here. What do we need to surrender and hand up to the elements and to the old ones and to our guides? That's coming through as kind of a channeled message. We need to call them in for help. We can't do this on our own. We need help. That's coming through kind of channeled. They want us to ask for help. They want to be recognized with rattles. I don't know if you use spiritual rattles in this collective. Maybe I'll bring my rattle in tonight. I have a rattle that I purchased a while back for a spiritual sound maker, right? Maybe in rattles or making noise like drumming. The Abakua use drumming and secret drumming rituals in their workings. Drums might be important to listen to tonight. Maybe you want to take a sacred bath tonight. Maybe you want to do this practice yourself and then take a bath in the water and listen to a drum track and do some trance work yourself, right? To do more, more deeply personally into what we're doing today. I'm seeing Skittles, the candy, something about Skittles, rainbow, like taste the rainbow, which is funny. But I mean, again, that speaks to that elemental beings, the serpent and the rainbow, right? That's a lightning deity. I also associate Skittles with Trayvon Martin. May he rest in peace. These are catalytic times where we really need to have some kind of an uprising against the destruction of our world through fascism that's coming through. I know I try not to get too interpretive, but this is just channeled for me. I'm just channeling this information. I'm seeing a feather and a fleur-de-lis, like a feather quill and a fleur-de-lis. Lime and lemon leaves, citrus leaves. You might want to try to, if you live somewhere where citrus grows, you might bring some citrus leaves into your home to bring in joy. It's saying we need to tap into some joy here. Yeah, it's just showing me all kinds of like growing plants, like plants exploding into growth, like almost like a plant rebellion. It's showing me like plants taking over in a like the way that the plant kingdom and animal kingdom, if we were wiped off the face of the earth, they would reclaim all of the human spaces that we've taken up with our imprint. Something like that is important. I'm seeing paisleys, like protective paisleys, also known as Bhuta in the Zoroastrian tradition. They're like flooding all around us. They're kind of symbols of floral holy fire that are protecting us. This might have something to do with like the 144, if you're a part of a community that subscribes to that. I believe personally we have to watch out for that kind of dogma, but it's here. I just saw the number, the 144,000. It's showing me being wrapped up in ribbons, and then it's showing me the poppets that I make. So there might be something about making protective poppets right now for you. It mentioned in that Scott Cunningham's work that you can stuff a poppet with thistle and carry and make that a protective poppet for yourself, right? Also known as a vodun doll, a voodoo doll. I keep seeing something about putting pegs in holes, like Battleship, like the game Battleship. I feel like I channeled that game once a long time ago. Someone in my collective might be well, that might have to do with the warrior Orisha that are present, and just acknowledging that in a way that I'll recognize. Like, it's funny, okay? But I channeled Battleship the game another time, months and months ago on the Obsidian Mirror podcast. I don't know what that's about, but it's interesting. It's showing me the red and white pegs of a Battleship game. Now cleansing is coming through again. Like doing a sacred bath with medicinal and healing and protective plants. You can also bless your home by taking a bundle of those kinds of plants and soaking them in water and then flinging the water throughout the space. Lots of beads. I'm seeing a lot of beads, like prayer beads. A tornado. I know that the Midwest has been hammered, particularly St. Louis, with tornadoes, and that may have meaning for you. I hope you're okay. Yeah, preparing for storms, gathering water, collecting water. This collective needs to understand that we need to collect water, or we need to be thinking about water. Drinkable, potable, fresh water. Rainwater. Rainwater is important. Dew water. Magically, and for our body and for our cleansing and healing. And water's a living entity, and it's showing that we need to treat water like a spirit and like a living Beautiful. Water is life, right? Mini Wakani. Seeing cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls. I'm hearing that song, the wheels of the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels of the bus go round and round, all around the town. Something about frequencies. I just keep hearing the word frequency, and I think that's meaning tone, like not amount or occurrence, not the amount of occurrence meaning, but the meaning of a tone, like the frequencies. I don't know if that makes sense here. Summoning help is being highlighted here. Summoning help from the spirit world. We're being encouraged to do that and work in alignment with their help. We're kind of being told to humble ourselves in this collective, to bow and humble ourselves and invite spiritual help for our crisis. But obedience isn't something, at least in the United States where I live, that's not a very valued trait. Being obedient to something greater is not very valued in the US. We're rugged individualists in this culture, so that's a challenge for our culture. Not everywhere, just where I am. It's important to look in the mirror about that and find where you might feel that obedience would be helpful to you. Certainly not to fascist governance. Yeah, I'm being shown like a whirlwind again, or a tornado. Now it's showing me that in a grandfather clock. Like the pendulum of the grandfather clock is inside of a tornado. And now that's turning into a metronome, which I've also channeled before, a metronome. It's showing me Damascus rose, Moroccan rose. Roses are thorny protectors as well. The water element, obviously with this rain, is really being highlighted. The waters, the sacred waters, the oceans, the cenotes. Yeah, I'm seeing deities like Tlaloc and Shak. Corn is here. Corn is associated with lightning. I'm being shown singing, like throat chanting, either like Gregorian chant or Tibetan chant, throat chanting. There's something about using overtones and chanting tones in order to bring healing as well. That might tie back to that frequency. Chimes. It just showed me an old cartoon where they would show the bad guy getting his head bashed between two symbols. That's funny. I don't know what that's about. I'm seeing kitsune and things from like Roblox and Dragon Ball Z. And kitsune spirits, which are interesting. I'm seeing Christmas lights. Christmas lights. That might be the lights on my altar. Twinkling lights. God, that's beautiful. I'm being shown a night garden, like a garden that's designed with plants that open at night and that are associated with moonlight, including fragrant plants. Wow, that is beautiful. What an amazing idea. That makes me want to look up if there are gardens like that. A night garden. Something about a night garden is significant. And birds that sing at night. Wow, that is so amazing. Moonlight, water, night garden, night flora and fauna, nocturnal, something nocturnal. Really beautiful. It's just amazing imagery I'm seeing. Lots of silvers and blues and purples and white. Really amazing. I can't even describe it. That's really gorgeous. Maybe doing night meditations, walks in night gardens, like over the summer in the northern hemisphere is good, right? That's amazing to see. Bells like a jingle dress I'm seeing, dancing with bells, healing dances. Hopscotch I'm seeing. I wonder if that's a Scottish tradition. Thistles have a really long, maybe the most known relationship with Scotland. I wonder if that's from the old world, hopscotch. I don't know why it's Scotch. Ooh, yeah, I'm seeing the adversary, the woodland adversary, also known as the devil, right? Like, he's here, not in a menacing way, but he's associated with Thistle, right? He's part of us. He's not here. He's called in, not to do our bidding, just to be witnessed, okay? There's no reason to be afraid. He's a part of us. He's being shown to me a little bit like Pan, the horned god. But I mean, the devil has minion over demons. You know, he's not to be, you know, he's not cute and cuddly, okay? He's not here in a menacing way, though. I just want to say that. He's here in like one of those ways that you might see him with a limp and a walking stick, all right? But he's also a shapeshifter, right? He's a master shapeshifter. I'm just sending him my respect. I don't want to work with him necessarily, but I'm just thanking him for being here, okay? Yeah, now it's just showing me the spines of Thistle and how beautiful they are. And they are. I mean, you can barely even handle Thistle with gloves, right? The spines penetrate your gloves usually, unless they're really thick. But I'm just really being shown a lot of love by the Thistle plant right now. It's really being thanked. It's thanking us for honoring it here. It's so beautiful. My God, it's got an incredible spirit, like with the Virgin Mary maybe is how it's showing up, because it feels very comforting around my heart. Really beautiful. My bird is reacting as well. He can feel that, I think. I know. Can you feel that? So the song Drunken Love is here. I wasn't expecting that, but it's here, right? And now Sacred Smoke. Smoking and smudging are here, doing a smoke bath and a smoke cleanse. A lot of cleansing, protecting, loving plant connections being made here. And Thistle is kind of the forerunner, the one that's being the representative and the guide for us through this meditation. I recommend doing this if you have the confidence to do this kind of divination work. It's really, I have goosebumps. Now it's showing me, I believe it's Chod, C-H-O-D, which is a meditative practice in Tibet. That involves offering up your body to a spiritual buffet, which is kind of intense, but in a way that it gets cut up and sliced and diced and offered as an offering. That's not the kind of messaging that you want to, you know, it's like a sky burial almost, like a sacred offering up of your body. People used to flagellate themselves with stinging nettles, and it's kind of like that almost is coming through. Nettles has a close relationship in Eastern and Western Europe with Thistle in a way, in some practices. And now it's showing me drinking a cup of tea of this decoction, so I might do that also. I gotta make sure it's right for my body right now before I do that, but you might do that as well if you decide to do this or try this. Is once you're done, not only bathe in the water, but take a drink of the decoction as well. Yeah, and then it's showing me the steam. I didn't do that here, but when you're doing this work yourself, you might bend over the cauldron and inhale the steam and take in the steam directly. Yeah, now it's back to lights, like Christmas lights again. It's showing me Christmas lights. And snow. Ooh, I just felt like a shaking. Like an earthquake or a shaking. I think it's just in my body. I don't think it's actually happening. I just feel it though, like if you've ever felt an earthquake. And now all those raindrops just became fireflies and then are gone. Like it just disappeared. I could do this forever. This is a very strong channel. I need to I want to kind of be in pace with the fact that that rain just kind of subsided, and maybe go ahead and allow this to wrap up. I'm seeing a spiral. Spirals are sacred, right? All worldwide symbols. And then, yeah, it's just showing me the thorns of the thistle again, and a prayer, like prayer hands or prayer beads. And a gratitude. There's like a mutual acknowledgement here of the spirit of thistle with this collective, a gratitude that we honored it here, and a desire to work with us. If we'll work with it more, it wants to keep working with us. And I encourage it because it grows everywhere. It's all over the place. It's abundant pretty much everywhere that I could ever think of. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and come out of this kind of dream space that I was in. Open my eyes up. I feel peace in my heart. I feel gratitude to the spirit of Thistle for being here and for guiding us through this divination work. And I encourage you to either replicate this or else share any comments that you might have experienced along with me while you're watching this, right? Like if you had any personal experience with it. But I really hope you enjoy this reading. Thank you so much for being here. And if you like my work, please like and subscribe and come back for more. And I'll see you soon.